Hello students, welcome to Code and Create with Neena. Now in this project, we are going to build a game or a project in which small little Rosy travels into the space with the help of this small little blue spaceship and encounters an enemy spaceship in the space, and she has a head-on collision with it. But in this project, we are also going to learn and make that how Rosy escapes the collision. Right, so let's get started. First of all, I'm going to show you how it actually works. So these are the arrow keys. If I click on the left arrow key, you will see Rosy turns left and moves towards the spaceship, and then the spaceship flies into the space where it has a head-on collision with the enemy spaceship. Let's see. Oh my god, so this is what we are going to build. And if I just go to the blank interface here, this is the one which actually is going to be there when you will be directed to. Oh my god, so this is what we are going to build today. So let's start right away. I'm going to go to oh my god, so this is what we are going to build today, and along with it we'll also see how Rosy escapes the collision. So let's start right away, and I have already logged into Studio Code org for you, and we are here in this interface actually, and you will also, when click on the link given in the description box, you will also be directed to this particular interface in the Studio Code org. Of course, you have to first sign in and log into it. That you are going to do in the first class only. So this is what I get here, and now first of all I'm going to start with giving the name. So as you see, I would be giving a name to this project as Escape the Collision. Actually she has to escape, see, after writing the name I have to save this, and it is being saved. Now we are going to start with giving it a background. So before that, I'm just going to give you a quick review of this interface. If you see on the left hand side, you have a small play area where we are going to build, and you are going to see whatever you are building with the help of the blocks in this block section. And this is the workspace where we are going to drag all the blocks. So we are going to start with giving a background. And as I told you in the previous class, we get backgrounds from the world section. So I'm going to click on this world section, and I'm going to first of all take this first block, set background. See, so this is what I pick here, and by default this background has come, but I want a background of a desert. So what I do is I'll just click here and get this background. See, I get a desert background, so it is all set. Now I'm going to next take the two sprites. One is going to be the girl Rosy, and the other is going to be our spaceship. So make new sprite block from sprite section. I pick, see, I go to sprite section and pick this make new sprite block, right? So now every time when I pick this block, this bunny sprite is always going to come by default, but I have to change it here. So I'll click on this arrow and I get numeral sprites. I'll pick what I want. So I'm going to pick Rosy, who is facing towards us. So I'll just click on this, and if you see, she comes here, and now but she has come into the center. Now why? Because by default always whatever the sprite is being selected, it comes in the center. And if you see, this is a location block which is showing the location of the sprite, which is 200 200, which is a center. But I want her to come somewhere here, in the right hand side bottom. So how do I do that? I click on this spoon icon, and you will see the screen becomes dark. Now if I go to the play area, you'll see this sprite becomes draggable, right? So what I do is I can place her anywhere I want. So I'll just place her a bit here in the right hand side bottom, right? So it is being rightly placed, and now you can see location has also changed accordingly, but she seems a bit big, right? So I want to change her size as well. So I go to sprite section, and if you see explore, you have a set size block over here. We pick this block and set a size of the girl. So it is bunny. Always we have to select the sprite of which we are doing the changes. So or whatever I'm size giving to the sprite. So here it is 50, that is too way small, so I'll change her to 80. See, this one is good enough. Now next sprite we want is the spaceship. So I go to again sprite section and pick up the block, make new sprite. See, I pick up this block, again bunny has come by default. I'll change this bunny to the spaceship. So there are many spaceships, but here I'm going to take, see, there are two blue similar kind of spaceships are there, but there's a very small minor difference, which is that if you see the first one, it is without ignition at the bottom, and the second one has an ignition, which we are going to use of course in this game eventually. So initially I'm going to take this spaceship which has no ignition at the bottom. So I take this one and see it is selected. Again it's in the center. I have to change its location. I again click on this moon icon, it becomes dark. I put it at the bottom aligned with the girl so that she's comfortably able to sit here in the spaceship, and see it has come. So both of them are now here. Now what next? What I want is next that this girl should turn left and go towards the spaceship. How I can do this? So for that I have to I have to change the direction of the sprite. So I'll have I have to change the costume of the sprite. So what I do is, first of all, there's something which would change or initiate a change would be the event. So when I go to event section, you will see there are a lot of blocks like when up pressed, when sprite clicked, or when this touches another sprite. But here I want that when I click on the arrow key, left arrow key, girl should turn towards left and move towards the spaceship. So I will take this first block. So when left pressed, what happens? Two things are going to happen. First, the sprite would be turning left. Rosy is going to turn left. For that, I'll have to take the costume block. If I go at the bottom, you will see there's a costume block, and I go down, change the costume. See, I take this block. What I want to do is, I want to change the Rosy who is facing towards me to Rosy who is facing towards the spaceship. See, right? When I click on left, so I can check here. See, when I click on left, see, she turns. Isn't this amazing? Now she should start moving towards the spaceship. Now to move means she's going to have certain kind of behavior, isn't it? So I have to go to behavior section to make her move. And now again, if you see here, sprite begins, sprite stops. There are a lot of behaviors out of which we are going to select the appropriate behavior. So I want this girl or Rosy to go towards the spaceship. So I'll take this block, sprite begins. See, I put it here, sprite begins. Which sprite begins? The girl who's facing towards left, not the girl who's facing towards me. You have to select, you have to make sure that you're selecting the right sprite to make her move. So I want this girl who is turned towards the spaceship should move towards left, right? So again I go to behavior, and again I take a behavior here, moving. So we don't have here right, left. Instead of this, we are having the cardinal directions: east, west, north, south. So left is west. So I will be taking moving west block. So if you see here, see. So girl, whenever we are clicking on left, she first turns towards left and then she moves towards west, right? So two things are happening simultaneously. Now I want her to be seated into the spaceship. See, we cannot make her, we cannot show that she's sitting into the spaceship. We can create an illusion. How can we do that? That when she touches the spaceship, actually she enters into the spaceship. But we are going to remove it actually so that it seems that she has been seated inside it. So Again, there's a initiating a change that when Rosy touches the spaceship, see, I'll go here. When Rosy, who is actually turned left, touches the spaceship, which is not ignited one, okay, remember that. What happens? She disappears. Like, we are creating illusion that she sits into it. So I have to remove her basically. So I'll take this remove block from the sprite section and I'll remove her. So now, since this is done, now we are ready to go to the space. But before the spaceship moves into the space, it has to be ignited, So here again we change the costume. Again we are going to sprite section and changing the costume. See, I'll change the costume of this spaceship which is not having any ignition at the bottom to the spaceship which is ignited at the bottom, right? So now once this is done, so the spaceship is ready to travel into the space. So change this, and now of course I have to give behavior to the spaceship as well. So I go to behaviors, I say sprite begins. Now when this spaceship moves into the space, 2 and 3 things are going to again happen, one after the other. First, so whenever you see anything which is going away, what happens? The size starts decreasing, isn't it? Suppose if something is going in the air, you will see the size, it seems like it's going far. We have to create an illusion it's going far up in the sky. So we have to make it keep on decreasing in size, right? So we have to make the spaceship decrease in size. So we have to give it a shrinking behavior. And of course it has to move up. Up means north. So first we are going to give a behavior of moving north. Then we have to give it a behavior of shrinking. And at the same time, when it is going up, the background has also changed from desert to the space. So 3 things we are going to do here. Sprite begins. See, first the spaceship behavior moves north, right? This one. Now while moving north, see, if I'm repeatedly using this same block, I can copy paste this. By clicking on the left, you get a option here, duplicate. See, here I'll just duplicate this. I don't have to go again to the block section. Now begins, but I have to change here, do a tweak that the behavior would be add on, that is shrinking behavior. So here I'm going to take the shrinking, means reducing in size. While going up in the air, it is reducing in size. 2 things are happening. And now the background is also supposed to be changed. So that background can be changed only from the world section. So set the background, again change the background to space. See, this one we have here. So this is going to get changed. Now at the same time, one thing more is going to happen. When this spaceship enters into the space, it encounters the enemy spaceship. So it is also be made. So again I go to sprite section and make a enemy spaceship here. Make new sprite, enemy spaceship. I'll take this one. And again by default, see, we are not able to see it, but by default it is going to be in the center. So I have to give it a, so I'm doing this with the estimate that it is going to align here with, so that we can show the collision over here somewhere, right? Now it is far off. It's far off. So here we have to give to the enemy spaceship the opposite behavior. First, that it is coming down, that is coming towards south, and instead of increasing size, it is decreasing in size, right, while coming. So first I have to make it, rather I have to give a smaller size to it, so that it seems that it is already far. So I'll take a set size block for the enemy spaceship, and here I go, I give this small size of maybe 50, I think is fine enough. I will check it later. And then it's giving it 2 behaviors as we gave it to our own Rosy's spaceship. So here enemy spaceship first of all should be moving towards south. So I give it a south behavior. See, south. Okay, here we go, moving south. Yeah, and shrinking, not shrinking, rather it is smaller in size initially, it has to become big, so increasing in size. So I have to give it a behavior of, see what I give it a behavior. I have to change here the sprite. Always make sure you're changing the bunny to the sprite which is required. Of increasing in size means growing. See, I take this growing rather than shrinking, it is growing, right? So here we go, let's check it. So you can always keep on checking in between whether coding is running correct or not. So by clicking on this run, we can see. So when I click on, it has to start with the left click. So when I click on this, see, she's going up. Yeah, see. Now, if you see, they just pass by. I have to show the collision, isn't it? So I can reset it again, and now I have to give a collision behavior. How do I do that? So I can adjust them, you know, I can just take this down to make a free space over here. You can just keep it here. Now again we have to initiate a change. So we go to events and take this block, because they are going to now touch each other. So I have to take this touch block when the ignited spaceship which reaches the space touches the enemy spaceship. What happens? A collision takes place. How would we show that? So we are going to show it with the help of a collision icon or a sprite. So for that purpose, and we have to show that they collided and they just disappeared. So how do we do that? First, so we can do either ways. I'll remove one of the spaceship. I will remove this one and change the costume of the second sprite or the spaceship. So for that, I'll go to again remove block. So when they touch each other, the spaceship disappears. One spaceship disappears, Rosy's spaceship disappears, and the second one changes its costume to show the collision. And here we go. Again we go down. You know now that where the costume block is. You pick this block, change the costume of the enemy spaceship to the collision sprite. If you go down here, we have a collision sprite. See this one. So this is going to, now once the collision takes place, two things are going to again happen. Now obviously when there's an explosion, there's a big sound. We can add a sound sprite here. So here we go. And how do we go get a sound? So play sound. See, I'll have an explosion sound from here. If you see, this opens and we have a lot of sounds here we can explore. The required one is explosion sound. You can see. No, this is not that one. No. Yeah, this one is appropriate. See. So collision takes place. I'll choose this one. Now once the collision has taken place, sound is also being generated, and we are now having this particular sprite on the screen. Now what happens, we can make it like kind of coming towards us. So we give a bit, so this is up to us, whatever behavior we want to give to this sprite. So we can give it a behavior like it starts growing. See, it starts growing. I'll take this, or maybe jittering, whatever, right? It is growing. Two behaviors you can give. It's not single behavior, you can give it two behaviors. Duplicate this. One is it is growing, and one is it is coming towards south. So behavior towards south, it is moving towards south. So here we go. And also we can add one more sound. Once it is generated, it is making a sound. One more sound we can add to it. So here we go. Play a sound. Again we click on this, maybe. Let's have some good sound here. So these are the human sounds. We don't need those. We can go to collect, retro game coin pickup, or health, or what. Let's check. No, one more I can check is instrumental human explosion board games. Not this one. Okay, projectile. This one can be your projectile. So it should be a bit longer, so we can go down. These are all 1 second, 2 seconds. No, not the appropriate one. Okay, once this is done, we select the sound block here. Okay, okay, so we can give a sound also along with it. So I go to word section, get a sound block, and here we go. I can select a sound, some appropriate sounds. Maybe let's see which one could be the appropriate one. Sports. It's a whistle, right? So now it is, this sound is appropriate, like, we can have an illusion that this is now rotating in the galaxy and creating a noise and all, right? So this is done. So let's see if it is working. Correct? Oh my God, see? Oh my God, that's a wonderful thing which we have made. Now, next would be, okay, we can stop this by clicking on reset. Now, next we want is that this enemy spaceship, okay, we can escape the collision also, right? Now how do we do that? We want the collision should be avoided or escaped. For that, it could be done by 2 ways, that our spaceship would move towards left or right. So again, initiate a change. So I go to events. Now when left is pressed, see, when left is pressed, what happens? Move the enemy spaceship, our spaceship, move. We can do this one. See, we can take this block from the sprite section, move the ignited spaceship 10 pixels towards maybe west, because left is west, don't forget that. But 10 pixels is not going to be enough, so we can make it 50 so that there's an absolute escape. And now we can try this by clicking on run, and if I click on this, see, oh my God, see, it's escaped the collision. Similarly, we can give for the right as well. Again, as I told you, we can duplicate the block. So I'll click on the right click, duplicate, and I can do the changes from here by clicking on this arrow key, making left to right, and I can further copy this block as well, move towards right. Now what is right? Right is east. So I'll click on east here. See? So we can escape the collision either ways by moving the spaceship left or right. Let's see. Now this time I'm going to check for right. See? So you have to make sure that pixels are, having a bigger values, because if I give it a maybe 10, 20, so we'll not be able to escape it. So let's give it right away 50, a good pixels, so that it moves with a good pixels. So this is done, and let's again check overall. First we'll check that we are not escaping it, and then we'll escape. See? Oh my God, the collision has taken place, but this time we are going to escape the collision. Oh my God, see? So that is wonderful, isn't it? So you can always start doing, first you see this video thoroughly, explore each block section, and then you can start right away, practice it with the help of the link given in the description box. And you can always use your own creativity. You can change the sounds, you can have your own spaceships, and then you can make it more interesting and attractive. Thank you very much. Let's meet in our 3rd class with new project, new game, most interesting one. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.